breaking news right now. Nick Sorter is reporting, and we've got a clip from Fox News. The Trump administration is revoking license of the employer of the foreigner who killed 3 people while U-turning a semi-truck in Florida. Good, hold employers accountable, and they'll stop working with illegals. This is something that, well, let's go ahead and
Who loves this, by the way.
Yeah, this speaks right to my
where you had an illegal alien truck driver that got a commercial driver's license in the state of California, employed by a California company, kill 3 people in Florida. This guy didn't even speak English. We're bringing him up on charges. He's going to face a lot. And I can announce, Jesse, that I said initially the company needs to be held accountable. And we've been working with the federal government, and they are pulling that company's license to do business because you cannot employ somebody who cannot read the road signs. California. We had an issue where
I've said this a couple times on the show. My personal policy preferences when it comes to illegal immigration, right? Obviously, you shut down the border. If you pick up an illegal, you send them back. But there's something that needs to be done about the companies that are actually hiring illegals, because they're the draw, right? If you've got, and it's good to see this happening, that the Trump administration is going to revoke the license. I personally would go further. I want to see the people that are actually owners of the company. I want to see them put in jail, and I want to see their company taken from them.
So I have a question. Like, are they not doing the I-9 process? Like, I'm an employer. I have to do an I-9 for everybody that I hire.
Apparently not.
I'm going to search that, but I don't think in California they have that rule and regulation as far as because they hire illegal.
And this company's hiring people to travel, across state lines. So obviously the Commerce Clause is involved. So the federal government does have jurisdiction. But if you hire people that are illegal, you should lose your business, like totally. In totality, because that's the only way that you're going to make it not worth hiring illegals. This guy couldn't read the signs. They did a test on him. He only identified 2 of 10 different signs that they showed to him.
How does he have a driver's license?
That's something, well, California gives driver's license out. He can't speak English, which I think the United States should have. He
literally passed a sign test in California?
No, he didn't. He probably didn't pass it. Is the point. Like, he probably wasn't tested properly, or or someone just said, well, here you go, because we feel bad for immigrants, or I don't want to get called a racist, or this is just the policy of California. I don't know the details about how he actually got it, but on site they gave him a test. He couldn't read signs. He can't speak English, which is something that I've been railing about. It was before the Trump administration said that they were going to make. Donald Trump said that he made that executive order that said that English is the official language of the United States. That needs to be done by Congress, and there should be no paperwork produced by the federal government in any other language except for English. This is exactly why. He couldn't read the signs. He didn't, whether or not he knew he was supposed to get, whether or not he knew it was illegal for a U-turn, it doesn't matter. But he was here illegally. He couldn't speak English, couldn't read the signs. The company.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I brought this stuff up. He crossed here illegally. He was fast tracked for deportation in 2018. The stuff about this guy goes on and on. I read somewhere else just recently. I was trying to get information about some of the stuff that he did. Released on $5,000 immigration bond.
They had to know what they were hiring.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. He got most of the questions wrong on his tests, for the CDL itself. So he wasn't supposed to be driving at all.
This guy and people have lost their lives because of it. The guy should go to jail for the rest of his life. The driver and the company that hired him, they should lose their not just their license, but all of his property. Like all of the business property. They have no problem and I don't have a problem with this either. They have no problem stripping all kinds of property away from people that are dealing drugs. They have no problem taking all kinds of property away from people that have acquired their wealth through fraud. They take all that away. Why not for people that hire illegals? If you hire illegals, you should lose your property, because that's the only way to make sure that companies don't think it's worth hiring illegals.
What state did those? First of all, the poor families that lost 3 loved ones. We don't want to roll over the fact that we have families who have people that are not coming home and they don't get to hug them again, and that is horrible. Did this happen in Florida?
This happened in Florida, yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see from a court perspective, because this happened. So there's the federal piece, then there's the Florida court piece. It'll be interesting to see, can you try the owner of the company for vehicular manslaughter
I would love to see it.
three. Basically, it's vehicular manslaughter of 3 individuals. And so it'll be interesting to see, because basically he put this person behind the wheel and shouldn't have.
And I'm guessing he's making a lot less money than people who are here legally, this employee.
Pardon me?
Like, I'm guessing this employee was making a lot less money because he was here.
I don't know.
Like the other thing about most of this issue with a lot of, maybe not with this one specifically, is like because of a mixture of like far left, we don't believe in borders policy, and bleeding heart liberalism, which tells you that, you know, we have to let everyone in because they have been they are oppressed elsewhere. We need to let them in and invite them here, but not bring them here, not even encourage them to come here legally. You're creating a slave class of people who do not have to, you know, be paid at the regular rates. Which, like Phil said, if these companies can bring them in illegally and pay them under the table, they will. They'll always try to get away with it. And it's been nefariously pushed forward in a way now where it's shown as a good thing to create an entire class of people who are ostensibly slaves.
Yeah. Well, Democrats love the caste system. Like, they love the caste system. But answer your question, yes. N9 and I9 is required in California, to answer your question. Just so we're 100% on that chat.
So they were just illegal. Then this whole process.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's if I understand correctly, that's fairly typical.
And if it's the fine is so minimal, they'll we'll just risk it.
That's why I think that there should be the most harsh punishments imaginable. You should lose your entire business. And the same goes for people that rent to illegals. If you're found to have rented an apartment to an illegal, you lose your property. You lose that rental location.
I thought that was harsh at first the other day, but I'm like, I'm totally aboard, brother. You know what I mean? Let's go, America. F these people.
Because the whole point is you need to disincentivize people from coming here. And this is actually the more compassionate way, because now we've got so many people that are seeing videos of ICE going and raiding apartments and picking people up, and you have people freaking out because ICE is hurting people and they're tearing families apart and blah, 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 blah. If you don't want that to happen, the next best thing is deterring people from coming here, making the people that are here illegally, right? Instead of going to pick them up and having ICE have to put hands on and fighting with people or grabbing them after they come out of court for their hearing or whatever, which is something that the left is freaking out about now. Make it so that way they can't find a place to live. Make it so that way people are like, if you can't prove to me that you're here legally, I'm not renting to you because I don't want to lose my whole apartment building. Take it from them.
Ship them all to Minnesota, because I've seen videos of people living in Minnesota and it's freezing out, and they're like from Africa. They're like, I can't live in this cold weather. You kidding me? I'm going home.
Look, man, if you're putting hands on them, don't ship them to Minnesota. Ship them to home.
Well, you know what I mean.
But the point being, the more you do this, if people that are here illegally can't find places to live, can't find places to work, and people that are outside of the U.S. that are looking to come here, if they know they can't find a place to get a job, or if they know they won't be able to get a place to live, they won't come. The people that are here will be like, I can't work here. I need to go home. Another thing is tax remittances at 95%. If you want to come here, work, and then send money back to your home, your country of origin, why should we allow that? We've got $37 trillion in debt. Take that money from them. The government has no problem doing any of this stuff. They do it to people all the time. Civil asset forfeiture. If you've got cash in your car and you get pulled over because you're going to buy a car or for whatever reason, the government will just, the police station will just take your cash. They'll say, that's ours now. If the government can do that, there should be no problem with taxing remittances at 95%. If the government can take your property because they think it's ill-gotten gains from whatever reason, drugs, from any kind of illicit activity, take their property for hiring, for employing or hiring illegals as well.
Dude, this is crazy. I did a little bit of digging, and I found this article from June, or it was updated on 25th of June in 2025. And this guy, Raymond, I guess a Punjabi guy, was talking to to Joe Biden and said that when they rolled this Biden-Harris trucking action plan out with his administration, it was a coming crisis. So this is in June 25th when this is written, and this happened in 2019. I highlighted this thing right here, where he basically, this is the guy, I think this is him right here, who's also Sikh, like the guy who's a driver, but he points out that they repeatedly tried to tell the Biden administration that the bigger problem is you're just issuing these licenses when they don't know English enough to pass the exam. He's like, give me a reason why you want to test in Punjabi. Most of the schools in California have opened up schools in Utah because in Utah there's third-party testing. Like, he literally pointed it out that this is going to happen a month or so before, if not like a while before, and like here we are, it's happening. All the stuff that they've been saying for so long, it's all literally coming to fruition. All the stuff we said is this is going to be bad, this is going to be bad, it's going to be bad. It's all. And
whether it's an illegal committing murder, rapes and murders, which you hear stories frequently about, or whether it's an illegal here that gets into a car accident, or any number of other terrible things that happen that wouldn't have happened if that person wasn't here.
They weren't
Forget about any of the other stuff, not whether it's intentional or a crime or whatever, just the fact that because that person was inside the United States, these things happened, whether they're crimes or accidents. Those are things that do not have to happen. They did not have to happen. If the government had done what it's supposed to do, which is enforce the border, enforce the restriction on people coming into the United States, and actually follow the law, and Democrats love to say no one's above the law, but they will let foreign immigrants, criminal aliens, they will let them skirt the law so that way they can have more people. And I truly believe this is the case. The reason they want to have more people in the United States is for the census, so that way they can get more representation for Democrats in the Congress. That was the whole point of it. The Health and Human Services, the Bureau of Health and Human Services had a program called the Refugee Resettlement Program, where they would ship people in. They would literally put them on planes, ship them all over the country, ship them to purple states, and ship them to blue states, again, because they want those census numbers. It wasn't about, as much as I do think that there were probably people that are voting illegally, I don't think that they were illegally voting in numbers great enough to actually affect the outcome of the elections, but I don't think that that was the plan. The plan was to get the kind of representation in Congress because of the through the census. You know, if you increase the number of people in blue states, you increase the number of people in purple states, you can get better representation on the Democrat side in Congress, you know, when the census comes through, because the way that the census is done, or the way that the representation in Congress is counted, is not by citizens. They just count the people. So it doesn't matter if you're citizens. It's unimportant. So yeah, I think that the repercussions for hiring or essentially harboring illegals, whether they're renting or whether you're giving them a job, I think that they should be significantly stiffer than they are. I love the fact that the Trump administration is going to revoke the license of this company that hired this guy, but I don't think it's enough. They should take their property. They should take all their trucks.
That's why you're going to be working for Chrissy Nome, my friend. That's why
she's going to show up in a trucker hat, and
looking all
shirt on. Absolutely.
Before we move on, to get some facts straight, out of basically 2,000 miles of the Mexican-U.S. border, we have about 100 miles of border done. It's not a lot.
So how about we get the rest of the border built, then we'll worry about what color it is.
I rock with that. And then in the words of a beautiful woman who has my heart and soul, Kamala Harris, don't come. Don't come.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.